Music, Culture, Politics, Society podcast, interviews, movie reviews, and more. Live Sundays at 5:30 p.m. on Facebook at Crazon Dion.
Hey everybody, this is Lunell, the original bad girl of comedy. I'm here at the Link Promenade in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, and you're watching the film review.
What's going on, people? How you feel?
Yep.
It is another great episode of the film review, movies, music, culture, politics, and society.
Yep.
And do we have a great show
Yes,
for
a
you
great
today, right?
Yep.
We have a great show for you as I populate here, as we get into the blurbs.
Right.
So, how was your week this week?
It was a pretty good week. A lot going on in the news as usual.
A lot going on in the news as usual, right? And so, I like to say, we don't believe in free advertisement around here.
Okay.
If you're doing something and you're promoting something, know about doing cooperative economics, meaning that if you want something promoted and pushed,
Okay.
pay for the promotion and pushing. Don't come on when someone is doing what they're doing.
Okay.
Right? Don't do that.
Okay.
I mean that's disrespectful. One, and that's not good business practice. Two, so don't do that shit. That's all. That's what I'll say to that. Don't do that shit because that shit is foul and it speaks and smells of desperation to get something hot when we give you the advertisement, let you know how to make something hot around our parts. We tell you already. We got it right here. It's called the only $15 TFR ad special. That's what we have for you to come on. Now, if you can't afford $15 to come on and promote and market what you're doing, then you're in the wrong career, you're in the wrong business. Plain and simple. I mean, that's just the way it is. Like me, if I'm promoting and pushing something, I'm promoting and pushing on sites that say it's all right for me to do that, right?
Okay.
But I don't come on and automatically push. Here comes a person live, and I'm pushing something right when they go live.
Crazy. Somebody has to be the leader.
Somebody
has to be a leader.
Somebody has to be a leader, but my thing is that
because not everyone knows how to be original. So.
People know. People should, if they're in business, they should know business. And business is, if here's a organization, we come out constantly. We come out every day with something, and it comes out and it's dope. It's banging. Everything from films to Lordland Theater to a preacher's life, right? All the different things I'm doing. We're getting ready to release everything on a certain platform that we hadn't released before on a certain social media platform. We're releasing all of this. The Crazy D shows and new acting opportunities are coming up, right, as we gear back up. But we always come out with the film review, movies, music, culture, politics, and society podcast. We are the husband and wife team. I'm Crazy D.
Tracey.
I'm the voice of the filmmaker. My wife is the voice of the
critic.
That's right. And so we come out all the time, and every time we come out, the sound quality is there, the picture is there, the green screen apparatus is there. We make sure that it happens so that people are seen, heard, recognized, and appreciated. And if you want to be seen, heard, recognized, and appreciated, come on and follow the instructions of the people who make it happen. The film review, the only $15 ad special, and it's over after this month, because February we start running all the ads for the February month is especially for Black History Month. This being the day before the Martin Luther King celebration. His birthday was actually on January 15th, but the celebration is tomorrow, right? So all this is happening leading into Black History Month, and we're doing this and we're doing it, but then it goes back up to $50. If you can't afford 15, then I got a feeling that you're in the wrong business already. But if you can't afford 15, you definitely can't afford 50. And 50 is still a penance for all you get for all the different countries that we're in, that we're on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Podcast Addict, right? Google Play. Right, and all the different various platforms, we're on those,
but
right?
The good thing is, well, the thing is all that money is going to do is go into the cameras for the kids.
That's right, goes into the camera. Yeah.
Film and editing the children.
We don't want to talk about that.
But
yet.
We all goes back to the community.
We don't want to talk about that yet because we actually do. And see, when I teach kids how to shoot a film, they're going to come out with something that's incredible. It's not going to be noise. It's not going to be dipping in sound. The picture's going to be right. The quality's going to be right. So, I'm going to be teaching them crazy deism in film and bringing the next generation. But that's for another time. But what we're saying here, people, is get your act together, right? Here's a platform where we constantly come out. We're constantly coming out. If we're shooting bars, like I'm revving back up bars because I've been in here doing heavy editing. I'm going to be back out there catching MCs, spitting their bars, giving them opportunity. We do opportunities with the TFR Music Review Show where it's set to be seen by film producers, directors, editors who will insert your music. It's the only show of its kind. It's about getting people seen, heard, recognized, and placed in movies, Hollywood and independent. So we do this all the time, and we come with the bangingness of mixtapes and the compilations with that and the various mixtapes that I release. So this is something where if you know that it's an organization that's constantly coming out, and it's everything they do constantly is dope. It releases your dopamine and makes you react, right? Then you come along and you get along with that because $15 is a penance.
Really, you've been doing this since how long? Since the Crazy D's opened when?
Yeah. The Crazy D's opened in '97. But okay. I've been doing this cooperative economics. See, you have to. What I find is that people have to pay something, or they take it for granted, right? And we're not interested in you taking what we do for granted, because what we do is bring you something that is good. So, people, I had to say that because I saw some activity that was just totally, not above board, is under, and people know what they do, right? I'm a black man, but I still got a little nigga in me, and so niggas recognize nigga shit. You know what I mean? A black man still recognizes some nigga shit. So in the end, it was a dude. He posted something on my main platform, my profile page on a certain social media page, and I'm giving them no shine because they don't want it, I guess. But anyway, so I went back on his page and I said, you know how the business works.
Okay.
No free advertisement on my main profile,
right,
unless you're coming in the $15 thing. And I was about to block him because, people in the business understand business. It's business first. I was about to block him, but then he blocked me. I said, well, then you saved me the trouble because I was going to block you. Right, I was giving you something a chance, but then you block it. Then I happened to go watch his trailer, and I'm listening to the punch sounds, and the punch sounds don't match up with how the person was getting hit. I said that's gonna flop.
Right.
But anyway, people, if people want to deal in self-hate, I can release self-hate because I suppress self-hate because I'm a black man, but I can release it, and it won't be nice because everything I come up with is dope. It releases the dopamine in people's brains, and it makes them have enjoyment. They say, damn, that look like one of my dudes I know. Damn, that like a chick I know. Damn, that shit is funny as hell. Oh, that was raw. A preacher's life is raw.
Yeah.
Television, raw. The Lordland Theater is raw.
Yeah.
All right, people. So we're going to move on now. I had to get that off. But if you want to take advantage until the end of this month, it's the $15, the only $15 TFR, promotion special, right? The only $15 TFR ad special, right? So get in contact with us, Lordland Enterprises at hotmail.com, and we'll be able to hook that up and get you across with $15. And what's good about us is we keep pushing our shows.
Right.
Our shows keep getting pushed. The numbers keep going up. So the more numbers see us, we're pushing you like we push ourselves. And I push myself extremely well. All right, people. So as we go on, people, so we're on the blurb. So that was good. I won't have to say that spiel at the end because people's actions made me fall into and get into action. 2020, we're going to move forward. Okay, people. So listen, here's a quick shout out as we get into the blurbs, right? TV shows and films by Crazy D channel on YouTube is now been rebranded. It is now rebranded, people. It is now called the Film Review Life Channel. The Film Review Life Channel on YouTube. We can go there right now. We are simulcasting live on a certain social media platform and also on YouTube, so you can go there right now. And we're also on Blog Talk. Telephone number 213-943-3358. If you got something that you want to talk about, something that you want to say, we are here to take the line and talk about it today. All right, people. So let's get this started, right? The blurbs. Okay. We have a new segment, and let me put this up real quick. We have a new segment that goes along with the blurb segment because we're building segments here, right, on the show as we go along. And we're telling you this because you see the growth of the film review to make it even more entertaining for you, right? So we have, of course, what we're doing, blurbs, but we also have a new section that we're starting, a new promotional section starting today on the 19th, right? And it is called the Film Review for Life. New music, new movies, new TV review segment, right? Where we review what's new coming out and where we talk about, and what we're going to talk about tonight is the top acts from the 10s that are going to be headed into the 20s. And my wife put this list together, right? And then I'm going to jump in. So my wife spearheaded this, and we're going to roll with this tonight. All praises due to the female energy in the room. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Put your hands up. Get ready to go, right? So look, so I had to tell you that's what we're going to do, right? But in the blurbs, last week, we talked about, let me bring that down a little bit. We talked about Fox, right? And how Fox has their new channel called Fox Soul, right?
That's right.
And we talked about Fox Soul, and I said last week that who wouldn't want to be on Fox? A lot of people are going to be running to be on Fox Soul. And the only people who are not going to be running to be on Fox Soul is the film review. We're not going to be running to be there. Want to know why? Want to know why? Because they're biting. They took the best ideas from failed black-owned operations, people who did not get the financing from different companies such as Comcast, which is trying to take away the 1866 Civil Rights Act, which helps us to move freely in this society. They went to the Supreme Court to stop Byron Allen, all that. So Fox, though not Comcast, is all hooked in, and when they're done with these, once they're done after the election season, this is going to thin out, and then they're going to get more conservative like Fox, right? And so they're going to thin all this out, and then the voices is just going to be what you would call, which I'm not calling the people who are doing it because they may not be aware, but it's going to be a lot of coonery and buffoonery on there, and it's not going to have those talk shows where the different people are coming up. So the only people who will not be running to that, because it is, again, not black owned. It's just black programming targeted. It's black targeted, but not black owned. And see, that's what it is now, people. Now, I saw this meme. This meme has been going around, and it talks about how the mother says, I'm not going to let my child get involved in that, because the little caption up there says the little boys can wear dresses, princess dresses too. Now,
I saw that ad.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, this has been going around, and this is really, and the whole argument about what is gender and that people are not gender and not gender fluid. Okay, people. Here it is in a nutshell, and then, you can take it how you will. But look, gender is not determined by what's in your mind. It's not even determined on the outside plumbing. It's not determined by the outside plumbing. It's not determined by the spigot. It's not determined on a particular spigot that you have on the outside of your body. It has to do with the inner plumbing. The inner plumbing is what determines what you are. If you are a male, you have a prostate. Right? And you have what they call balls that hold the sperm. I'm just calling general terms here, right? If you are a woman, you have a uterus. If you are a female, you have a uterus. You have fallopian tubes, right? Now, without having a prostate, you have about 10 years. Without having your fallopian tubes, you have about 10 years. Okay. If you truly want to be, for all those who say that they were wrong, they are not the gender. It's not about the outside.
Oh, so you're saying people who say they were born in the wrong bodies?
Right. They say they were born in the wrong bodies, or they just say that they are women, even though they are. It's not about the piping on the outside. It's about the piping on the inside, right? So, so if you feel that way, make sure that when you do go through everything, make sure you cut your prostate out. If you really believe that, cut the prostate out when getting the cosmetic surgery for the outside, and then you will have 10 years to live to be that which you feel that you are. And the same for women who feel that, don't just get the cosmetic surgery on the outside. Don't take the hormones to make certain areas grow. Make sure that you cut your fallopian tubes out, because you don't need them because you're a man.
Well, some people do remove them, and some people don't.
Okay, wait a minute. No, I've seen the cosmetic surgery. If they remove them, they only got 10 years.
Oh, so that's what it says.
So they're basically.
Oh, well, they want to live, so that's why
so they basically are.
They want to live longer.
They basically are committing suicide if they were to take it out. So that's what I'm saying. But if you believe that is what you are, then do that, and then what, and then on other things, what good is being a Franken bitch? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, wait a minute now. What good is it being a Franken bitch? Let's be clear now. You're gonna be you were born a male, and then you're gonna get a uterus, and you're gonna get a uterus put in, and all this just to be able to have children, but. You might as well just left it the way it was, the way God made you. So that's it, people. So all that other thing, let's move the Bible out the way. Let's move the outward dressing, the spigot that's on the outside. Let's go with what's on the inside that really makes you a male or a female. And so that's why this right here.
People can have surgery.
I mean, they can have surgeries, and they can be Franken bitches. I mean, they can. I'm just saying. I know that's not what it's called, but that's what it would be. That's Frankenstein stuff, right? Ain't it? I mean, I'm not talking about the cosmetic stuff, because cosmetic is only one level. We're talking about the actual inside piping level that will make you a male or a female. So up here, she says she's not going to do it. She's putting a belt to it. So the main point is what they're saying, the person who posted the ad said that black women are allowing their kids to do that, but what they need to start doing is doing this, and a lot of black women are starting to do this. No, you're going to be what you are. We're going to let you have a chance to be what you are, but when you turn 18, okay. And really, since Obama did the healthcare thing, it's actually 26. So until you're 26, you got to be what I'm telling you you are when you was born, because I want to see some grandchildren.
So this is what she's in the cartoon?
That's what she's doing. And she's ripping. Okay. I'm going, I'm getting tired of this. And she's got the belt in her hand. We're going to whip you. We're going to keep you under straight. So those are some of the conversations. So I just wanted to get that off in the blurbs and say, yo, if you really want to...
So that's a conversation that's happening.
That's a conversation that's happening. And really...
Social media.
But, no one has ever brought it down to what's on the inside.
Okay.
Let's go with what's on the inside. It's good to be... laugh and be fictitious about what you feel, but what's on the inside and what will really make you a man or make you a woman if you choose to do that. Okay. Let's go do that, and let's see how long you last. You have 10 years.
Okay. Well, these doctors don't know, because they told Pam Grier she only had a few years when she was battling cancer.
That was
and thank God.
That was because in her book she said Richard Pryor was a coke, and they said they found out that people who use cocaine, when they ejaculate in a woman, it causes it to go to the cervix and cause cervical cancer.
Right.
And so hers was induced by something that she didn't know. She was doing what was considered natural, but there was an unnatural chemical hitting her cervix.
Right. But still, she was there. She lived longer than what the doctors
She lived. So did what's the name? Quincy Jones. But we're talking about doing a surgery to change who you are.
Okay.
That's different. That's an elective. They didn't elect to get that. He didn't elect to get the tumor. She didn't elect to get that. That was a disease.
Right.
Difference. All right, people. So now that we got that out of the way, boy, I tell you, that's good. Now, people, we're getting ready to get into what we want to go first. We want to go. Let's do the top hip hop and then the top R&B artists of the 10s going into the 20s.
So then you want to end it with, because we're still in January, so the decade. We have to definitely wrap up the...
Yeah, we definitely have to wrap up the decade.
Artists of the decade.
Yeah, right. So we're going to start with the hip hop first, right?
Okay, so we're doing the top 5 hip hop artists kicking off 2020,
which they were in.
And then we're going to end it with the decade.
Yeah, we're going to end it with the decade. Right. Okay, people. So look, this is our new segment where we break into it, but we had to go back to the 10s just one more time because this is January. Right?
You had to do it justice.
You had to do it justice.
And these artists, they definitely
these artists just
killed
do it. They did. They just killed do it.
Still going strong.
So we want to say right now that the rule is that you can use music as long as that you critique it and you don't have to get permission to do it. Right. So of course we have the FBI symbol in front of everything that we're doing because what we are reviewing is a critique on these people and what they have done. Yeah. And so let's get started here. So we're going to start with number 1 and go to number 5 here. We're going to see how this is going. This is a new segment, so this is all new. So you get ready. So we're starting first with
Doja Cat rules.
Doja Cat, right? Doja Cat. Talk about Doja Cat. Doja Cat is an incredible artist. She's influenced by Nicki.
You can tell, and she said it also.
That's right.
As well as other artists. But
this one right here rules. She's got this UGK Pimp C flow, right? So we only gave it 30 seconds because we're not trying to play the whole video. So we're going to stop it right there because that next one is the baby. Yeah. But back to Doja Cat.
You definitely have to check out her album. She has a few albums prior to this new one.
Yes, she does.
Yeah,
she is truly
has
hip hop. That's why we are saying that she is one of the influencers in the late 2010s, and is going to blow into
2020.
the 2020s, right?
Right.
And just look out for her, like people
because she has a track record.
She has a track record,
right?
And if you are into hip hop music,
right,
you will love what she's doing. Now, this next act right here, who is this?
The Baby. The song is called Job.
That's right. The Baby. The Baby's whole album, his two albums, he has two. Jamming. His flow is unique. He is from the Carolinas, and he's kicking it. And he stands for his. He does his thing in hip hop, and you can't but enjoy what the man is putting down, right? Now, we're going to freeze that right now. So, The Baby.
Yeah.
You have to go and check out The Baby. He was one of our earlier picks.
Yeah, he was.
Earlier in the summer. We talked about The Baby, but his flow is unique.
Yeah.
He is keeping hip-hop alive.
Yeah.
I remember I referenced him to one of the program directors at one of the radio stations. I said, "Hey, you heard him?" Yeah. Next thing I know, I heard his song in rotation at that particular, added to the rotation, right? Because he is doing hip hop. Yeah. He is truly hip hop. Yeah. Right? Have you heard him on the J. Cole record? That's all I have to say. So the next person that is moving us right along
definitely is Lizzo. She knows how to shake things up, definitely.
Yeah, she knows how to shake things up.
She's another one who also has a body of work. She has previous albums prior to her really blowing up.
Right.
And this song is true hers.
That's right. So she is one that we look to go into the next decade. And, having those feuds with certain people who are non-talented always helps out because your talent keeps shining through and you keep on making it. Now, people, the next track is
the City Girls.
The City Girls, people.
Money Fight, right off of the Bad Boys 2.
Bad Boys sound.
Bad Boys for Life sound.
That's right, Bad Boy 3.
Bad Boys 3.
That's right. So these young ladies are doing it, the City Girls, and they spit, and you listen to them, it's like listening to the hip hop comes from the South, from the mid-90s, right? From a female point of view. Then the last one rounding out is Megan Thee Stallion. And this is her song from the Birds of Prey soundtrack, which is the Harlequin movie. Right?
The song is called Diamonds.
That's right, coming out February 7th, right? But so that's what I'm saying. These artists are already branching already into the 2020. And there's no need to player hate. It's best to player participate.
Because like the City Girls, as well as Megan Thee Stallion, the City Girls have previous albums also. And Megan Thee Stallion, she has multiple mixtapes. So she has a body of work also. So, from that list right there, that they are all definitely kicking in the doors of 2020. And I can see them
kicking in the doors.
Growing and being huge, huge artists from what they've done so far. This little short period of time, the marketing, the music, their personalities, because we checked out a few of their interviews, right?
Yes.
And great personalities, great music. Look forward to hearing more from them.
That's right. Now, people, here are the top 5 influencers in R&B.
Yes.
That my wife put together.
Right.
Like I said, the feminine energy is in the house, people. Hip Hop Parade. Right? Now look. She put this list together, and these are the top 5 R&B influencers that we say right here at the Film Review will be moving into the 2020s to produce greatness further, right? So the first one on the list is
Sir.
Sir.
And the song that jumped out is John Redcorn.
Uh-huh.
So
it has that classic R&B feel,
Yeah.
right? And he's standing there crooning, really, because he's like a crooner standing right there by himself on stage, doing his thing.
He's from the Top Dog camp.
Top Dog camp, right? Isn't he the brother to the guy who won?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So the next one up is my pick.
Yep.
Nicole Bus. She has 3 albums out, people. She's been doing it for a while. Her first album came out on 11. The last one came out at 17. And her new one is 2020. And she's been picked up by none other than Rock Nation. So they mean to do something with her, right? Right? So she went from EMI to Top Notch to Rockefeller. Now, this next artist is...
Well, first of all, the Nicole Bus, we like we like the sample, right? You said it's Isaac Hayes sample.
That's right. Isaac Hayes' son is doing great things with music publishing, using his father's music to continue not only his father's legacy, but to continue the intergenerational wealth, right? So he knowing how to use publishing and using, this was an actual sample from unreleased Isaac Hayes music. When you hear that record by Nicole Bus, it is previously unreleased Isaac Hayes exclusive sampled, exclusive sample from that, and the song is just jumping and banging, and we see she's got a lot of tour dates. You can check them out. Make sure when she comes to your city, you go see her. We have prediction that she's going to be big in the 2020s.
And what I love about her is I love the tone of her voice. I love her style. Like, she's an original. She doesn't sound like a carbon copy of another artist. That's what I love about the artists that's on this list, as well as the artists that we have to get to, the artists of the decade. Mm-hmm. Like, I love all of their originality. They're not carbon copies of anyone. Mm-hmm. So that's what I really love about Nicole Bus. So definitely something to look out for.
Okay, so this next artist, right, that we're getting ready to break into,
Ari Lennox.
Yes. Now talk about her a little bit.
I love her song. This is her song, Up Late. And she's on Dreamville, J. Cole's lady.
Okay.
And I love her music. It's just like so soulful. You know, what really grabbed me is when I heard her perform Shea Butter. Uh-huh. And it's she also has a remix with J. Cole for Shea Butter. Uh-huh. But like that song, after hearing that, I said, let me hear more. So I started listening to more of her stuff and checked out her album. And her Up Late is a really, really good song off her album. And I love her style, you know, so she's just like soulful, mm-hmm. you know. And she was in the media recently, on social media. She spoke up. She stood up for herself because someone had posted something and it was just rude, mm-hmm. right? And so she stood up for herself and she used her voice, right? Mm-hmm. And she also spoke out. This was like a couple of months ago. She spoke up for the LGBTQI community. Yeah. She's an activist, you know, and her music is great, and she uses her voice, right? And she stood up for Black women. You know, the rude post that the person had posted about her recently on social media, mm-hmm. and her music is just great. So she's someone who walks the walk. She doesn't not only just put out soulful music. She's a person that cares about her community as well as like other communities, and she's a true artist. Her music is really nice, so yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the next artist we have on the list, and who is this?
The next artist is Khalid, mm-hmm. and this song is called 11.
11.
And he's been like really killing it. I
He
mean,
has.
the last
He's been putting in work.
He's been putting in work. Not only his stuff, but he's been on so many collabos. And he's definitely going to be one kicking in the doors in 2020 moving forward. And he's just a true artist, you know. And
I like this music. I like the word video on it.
yeah.
You know, fans creating word videos for what you do
Right.
is the ultimate salute.
Yeah,
the
tribute.
ultimate honor. It's a
Right.
tribute
Yeah.
to what you do. That they actually believe in what you do.
Yeah,
right?
because he's a great artist. I mean, I've seen him since he came out. He's collabed with rap, R&B, country, pop, like his own stuff. He's the truth.
He's the truth. And rounding out the top 5 of R&B that have been influencers in the 10s,
Yes.
and definitely going to open up into the 20s
Definitely
is
her.
her.
And this song is called Rats. And we learned about her years ago when she was she a teenager?
Yeah, I think she was a teenager.
And
She was hiding things.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And
now she's come out into her own and opened up. And I think that she really opened up the door for other artists that now express their insecurities.
Yeah, I believe
And now they're able to speak about mental illness because of her.
Yeah, the
right?
first time I believe we saw her was years ago when she was a little girl on Sway in the Morning, right? And this young lady, she not only writes and produces, and she plays multiple instruments, and she is extremely talented. So definitely her.
Okay, now people, listen. Okay. We're coming into the top 5 artists.
Of the
actually, we might have a little more. Top 5 artists. Top 5 artists that who ruled the 10s.
Yeah.
They rocked the 10s. They constantly came out. They were constantly making music. They influenced the culture, and none bigger than number 1.
Yes.
Right. You can put them in any order that you want, but these are all order, and we didn't go from 5 to 1. We wanted to go straight from 1 down because all of them have influenced the people. So the number 1 we have on the list is Chris Brown.
Right, and this is from his latest album.
From his latest album, that's right, Indigo. Yeah. No matter how they have tried to crush him, the powers that be, he constantly puts out albums. Listen to that voice. Listen to that.
And like, action speaks louder than words, right?
It does.
He definitely put in the work, right?
Put in the work.
And Chris is just between his writing, and that's what you can admire about him, because he's a writer. He writes his stuff, right? So he writes, he produces, he acts.
Right.
You know, he's a dancer, he's an entertainer, he's an artist.
That's right. Chris Brown.
What don't he do, right?
He is the number 1 influencer in the game, right?
Yeah, he's another one that's collaborated with just about everybody in every genre of music.
Every genre of music.
Right. And well respected.
The collaboration with him and Drake, ingenious.
Yeah.
Crushing the beef, right?
No guidance. And then even him and Rihanna did a collabo, you know, on her album. So, you know,
Chris Brown is to be respected.
To be respected.
To be this generation's, he's the first Chris Brown, but to be this generation's Michael Jackson.
For this generation.
For this generation.
Because you see so many little kids, just like growing up, right? You know how you would see kids like dancing to Michael Jackson and imitating Michael Jackson? You see that on social media with Chris Brown. I don't see any other artists that children do it with other than Michael Jackson. Yeah.
That's true.
Not to compare the two, there's no comparison.
There's no comparison.
Chris Brown's crazy. His catalog is just crazy.
That's right.
His writing,
let's go to his
music,
catalog
his art.
alone.
I mean, Chris Brown is just huge.
His catalog alone, Michael only had 5.
Yeah.
Chris Brown puts out an album. Look, he puts out 2 albums a year. I mean, really, honestly. So the next person who is moving definitely into the 20s,
Yes.
who is an influencer who has influenced many different
Everybody.
acts,
She killed the decade, so
is
killed it.
Nicki.
Yes, Nicki Minaj. This is LLC. And
She writes all her own rhymes.
writes her own rhymes.
Isn't that what hip hop is supposed to be about? Writing your own rhymes?
Right.
Isn't that supposed to be what you look at and that if it's dope or not? And every time she comes with the dopeness.
And she's a true MC.
True MC.
You listen to her
She
lyrics.
was in the battle. She was in the battle.
Right.
She was in the cipher.
Right. Do you remember when she did that? She was in a BET Cypher and she killed it.
Yeah, she killed it. Yeah, but I'm talking about, but she's just been in ciphers.
Right.
Period.
Right.
All throughout her times, like
Yeah.
when she talked about her coming up and she had Waka Flocka's mom,
Yeah.
right? Deb. And Deb was once her manager, and Deb
Right.
cleared up a lot of things. Like people need
Right.
to watch. It's all over.
Yeah.
YouTube is an invaluable source for
Yeah.
Black culture right
Yeah.
now. Different shows that are
Right.
telling what's happening and bringing the truth out.
Yeah.
Right there on that platform, right?
So her former manager, Deb,
Mhm.
great interview. She did a great interview on Nikki's Queen Radio.
Yeah.
Speaking of that,
Mhm.
Nikki has Queen Radio. She has her clothing line.
Yes.
She has her liquor line,
Mhm.
right? Moscato, and then she has another line also. And then we mentioned the clothing, and just she's another one. Like Chris Brown. They're not just artists; they are a business.
They are business. That's
They are
right.
business. As
So-
Jay-Z said.
So, like we said, people, we have the FBI up because certain songs, when you can use songs without permission if you're critiquing them, and that's what we're doing. That's why we have the FBI symbol up on what we do here, because we make it happen here. And let me just take the quick second to,
Right.
because this is, come on, really, who's doing this? But anyway, the next artist.
Drake.
That's right.
Drake. This song is nonstop, right?
Nonstop.
And Drake is nonstop.
Nonstop.
I mean, he's been killing a decade and moving forward. We
Moving
know
forward.
2020. He gonna kill 2020
No, 2020.
and beyond.
The question is, Drake has been in the game since the Double O.
Oh my gosh, Degrassi, his accent years ago.
No, okay, so that means the 90s, right? But
Right.
we're talking about hip hop,
The music, yeah.
since the Double O's. We remember that Leak Jones mixtape, right? The next people are the Carters,
The Carters.
right? How could we not have Carters
Come on,
further
Jay-Z
higher up?
and
But
Beyonce.
Jay-Z.
I mean, they are. No particular.
isn't it the Louvre? Isn't that where they are?
I believe, yes.
Right.
That's
the
where
only
they
people
filmed
they
the video.
allowed them to shoot in the Louvre, right?
Right.
Then the next artist we have
Yeah.
is Kendrick Lamar.
Right.
Right? What's that song?
This is DNA.
DNA, right? That's my wife's favorite song by Kendrick, right? And he is just coming from out of LA
Yes.
and bringing knowledge
Yeah.
in his rhymes. Anybody who says that hip hop is not still lyrical and not still dropping knowledge, they're not listening.
Because Kendrick Lamar is another top dog artist. We just talked about Sir, who's
Right.
on Top Dog. But Kendrick Lamar, he did the Black Panther soundtrack, huge.
Yeah.
Executive produced the Black Panther soundtrack as well. So he's another one that's collaborated with many artists, just like Drake has, and all of the artists above.
Mhm.
And
Then we have, of course, Rick Ross.
Rick Ross. Yeah.
What's this one called?
This one is called. It's on the list.
Oh, you don't have it on the list. Oh, it doesn't matter. But just know that Rick Ross is jumping out. It wasn't listed on the thing.
Oh,
right?
it's on my computer. But because I have titles.
You can go there, but we don't have much time. Yeah, find it. Okay, so let me pause that real quick. So let me tell you about Rick Ross, people.
Right.
Rick Ross has been in the game for a decade.
Right.
A decade long. Port of Miami 1.
Right.
No one knew there was going to be Port of Miami 1,
Right.
but now it's Port of Miami 2.
Right.
Right? And he's been doing his thing in a decade. Now, for people who do not value his lyrical skill. And I had to say, are you actually into hip hop or not?
Right.
Because the man delivers the lyrics
Right.
about a certain game and a certain lifestyle, but his lyrical prowess is unmatched, right?
Okay, so this is the issue with Rick Ross, right?
Uh-huh.
We had like 5 or 6 Rick Ross songs that we were playing back to back when we were trying to select.
Which ones? Yeah.
But the one that was decided, we're talking about from off of his Port of Miami 2 album, right? Because there was so many great songs on there.
Right.
So we decided to go with Act the Fool.
Act the Fool. That's right.
This
exactly
is the
what
video
it is.
we have up now, right?
That's right. Well, yeah, it's froze now. We passed. We're on the next artist. But I waited for you. I waited for you.
No, you see, now
I waited for you.
were supposed to write it down when I was calling off the song.
Yeah, I typed it and got the videos together.
But
hey,
but you know what?
No one's infallible.
But Rick Ross's catalog is just out of this world, and it was just so hard to narrow it down
to what we wanted. Right?
What we wanted, but yeah, his Port of Miami. Matter of fact, we reviewed this album.
We reviewed the album.
But the song that we went with is the Act the Fool. Yeah, we went with Act the Fool because Rick Ross definitely made a huge mark.
Dent.
A huge dent.
In hip hop music.
Yeah,
and
so he's definitely
Coming to America.
One of the artists of the decade.
Coming to America 2.
Yeah, they actually
shot
from
in his mansion.
In his mansion, right.
Right.
And then not to leave out his he has a chain of different restaurants,
right?
Specifically the Wingstop, lemon pepper.
That's lemon pepper. That's what he is. Yeah, right. Now, so look, people. So our what is this? Is this the last artist in it? Yes, it is.
Yes.
This is going to be a shocker, people.
I don't know why.
Who is this now?
It's not a shocker. Do you have the song on?
Ariana Grande.
Yes.
I don't have the song
this
on
is
here.
the song, How I Look on You.
Yeah, How I Look on You. Right. So this right here, people, is a nice video. It's nice imagery in it.
Right.
She's doing her thing in it.
She killed it. Yeah, she killed the decade, Ariana Grande. She worked with a lot of people.
She even has a famous sibling for being a reality star.
Oh, on the show Big Brother.
On the show Big Brother.
What, was it Frankie?
Now, people.
Oh, but wait.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we wrapped it up with Ariana Grande, but definitely 3 other artists who made a huge impact as far as the decade, right? Okay, first of all, we can't leave out Wayne because of Young Money, right? We got Nicki on the list, we got Drake on the list, and had it not been for Young Money. And then Wayne's music, right?
That's to be.
I know,
that's to be debated because
a great rapper.
Neither one of those are on the same
rapper.
Label anymore.
But anyway, Lil Wayne. Okay, anyway, it's my list. So Lil Wayne. Okay, and then Lil Wayne.
Really okay, in the double O.
No, Lil Wayne. But next, and also 50 Cent, right? 50 Cent brought us Power, right? Mm-hmm. So now we are gearing up for Power Book 2, right? As well as his other like
not much
shows.
Music in the decade.
We have on ABC, he's got For Life coming out, right?
This is true.
He has his own. He brought us his own champagne, vodka, and his own cognac. Okay. So 50 killed it.
So that's being a mogul.
He's a mogul, so we had to mention
not necessarily
him. So we got another mogul
in the tens.
50 Cent made a dent. So the other artist who also made a dent is Rihanna, right? So she did a lot of acting towards it, right?
Not too much
she did
music.
Well, she did Ocean's 8, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then she did Guava Island, starring
that was
her and Childish Gambino.
That was a beautiful piece there.
Yeah, matter of fact, we reviewed.
That's
Guava
right.
Island,
Not too much music.
Well, it was music in the Guava
music
Island.
there, but it's not too much music. But she made a dent as an influencer.
As far as a mogul, also because she has her Fenty makeup line as well as her Fenty lingerie line. So those artists as well. So yeah. But next week is our collabos.
That's what we're going to do.
Oh my gosh, we have some
collabos
hot collabos.
Of
it was
the
hard to narrow it down. It's so
hard
many.
to narrow it doan.
That's right.
But look, people, I would be remiss if I did not talk about an artist. This is just my pick, right?
Okay.
Of an artist that comes from comes from hip hop, comes from the golden age. But now it has come back with this banger, right? He's got this banger, Slap the Out Ya, right? And the video is hilarious, and it came out on the 13th of January, and I broke it on a certain social media site and other social media sites on the 15th, saying this is something that people had to pay attention to because Redman comes back constantly every time. How is it that Redman came in the golden age, then did movies, then him and Meth did 2 cold albums, and then he does solo work, and then he just slaps it out ya in 2020 with this banger that is gonna take it right. It is like right now, Redman, and when you listen to it, I don't know how he got to do it, but it is muddy. It is muddy, like much of his production, and he was able to bring this out. And see, hip hop sounds great when it sounds analog, more than it does when it's digital. The bass opens up when it's analog and it spreads across the tape. Digital makes it a round ball. It knocks, don't get me wrong, but it's nothing like that muddy waters, right? So make sure you check this out, because Redman right now, he has 3 joints out right now that are playing on the different, music sites, Spotify, all that, right? Apple Music, all that, right? And he's got this video out for the first one. This is truly the single out of him, because he gets into some real hip hop on the other 2 singles. This right here is one of those ones that is gonna be, I predict, a cult musical hip hop classic right here.
You know who I would love? Just the fantasy. I would love the remix with Method Man jumping on the remix.
Yeah, Method Man. Yeah, I can see that. That would be something. You know who I would like to also see on that? I would like to see the Roots frontman on there too.
Is it Questlove?
No, Questlove is
Black Thought.
Black Thought.
Black
Thought.
Black
I would like to see that on there. I think those 3, because you remember, hey, there's something that happened in the 10s, was the flow session.
Oh yeah, that was
between
nice.
Meth and Black Thought. I mean, and they were going at it bar for bar, and then Black Thought had his long flow session where he just went for 30 minutes straight or longer, right? And so those 3 on a remix track, I think that would be something, and that would give Black Thought a more less, still serious but less serious side. And then Meth and Red are gonna vibe on this joint. But so look out for this, because I see big things with this Redman situation. He comes back. The cinematography on this is A1. The cutting that they use on it, I mean, it's just good from the opening credit. And there is a disclaimer at the end too for what we're in now, the Me Too, right? So look, people, as we pause that out for a second, so that is our list of the top influencers of the decade, the top artists, and the artists that we believe are going to be moving forward into the next decade, right?
Yes.
So people, okay, so I'm looking at my list to make sure we did everything now, people. All right, people.
And if you have your list, send us your list too.
That's right. Send us your list or type in something and we'll read it over the air. Right, let me look and see if people have commented. What's going on to Shanine? I see that she's watching. What's going on with you? And what's going on to everyone that is watching us right now, live streaming us on YouTube and on a certain social media platform. That's right. Make sure that you go to the Film Review Life channel. That's right.
Yeah.
TV shows and films by Crazy D channel is now rebranded. It is now the Film Review Life channel on YouTube. That's right. And you will see this as the picture, right? Okay. And so make sure that you subscribe to us right there on YouTube and ring the bell so that you will be notified when we come on, right? Okay, people. So as we go on in this, because we're going to extend this a little bit before we get to reviewing Bad Boys 2, right? We're going to talk about new movies that are coming out, right? Okay. I want to run down the list because this is going to be real quick. We're not going into much discussion because the first on the list is something that we're going to review a little bit later, which is Tyler Perry's A Fall from Grace. That came out January 17th. Yes. We're going to talk about that in a second. Yeah. Troop Zero by Viola Davis is playing right now.
Oh, okay.
That's right. That is on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
Right? So you have to go see that. January 24th, Color of Space. Okay. And The Gentleman. Okay. These are movies that are coming out in the theater. Okay. January 31st, Gretel and Hansel. You know, we're in the Me Too era, so Gretel is going to come before Hansel, and Hansel's going to be the younger one instead, okay? Oh, okay. The Rhythm Section, which is one of those spy action thrillers where the woman is the protagonist and she's in the lead and she doesn't know what happened from the trailer, but she's up there kicking butt. So, that's, you know.
Blake Lively,
January 31st. February 7th, another female lead, Birds of Prey. It's the Harlequin movie, right?
Margot Robbie.
Yeah. Margot Robbie. Yes. February 14th, the Photograph. Okay. You know, that's Issa Rae. Yes. And what's his name from I can't think of his name, but they starred together in that. Fantasy Island is coming. We talked about that. Downhill.
Fantasy Island is going to be good.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh yeah,
it's coming, right? Yeah. February 28th, The Invisible Man. That's kind of a horror thriller type thing.
It's Lakeith Stanfield.
Yeah, that's right. Lakeith Stanfield.
Photograph.
March 13th, Bloodshot. Yes. That's what's his name? Ballhead. God. Anyway, we talked about it. We talked about him. We don't have to go into it because you know it. When it's time to review it, we'll have his name. Vin Diesel. There it is. March 20th, A Quiet Place 2. If you've never seen A Quiet Place 1, you have to see that. You will be on the edge of your seat the whole time. Yeah. March 27th, Mulan, live action. They took the cartoon, the anime, and turned it into live action.
And it looks really good.
Yeah.
It looks really good.
So we're going to see some kung fu. Whatever they did Japanese, so they may be doing something else. April 3rd, The Mutants. Now I'm interested in seeing this because this is a take on Marvel, but it's not Marvel. Okay. And it's a take on what if mutants were more horror. When you're seeing these mutants, they're starting to figure themselves out. So this is a person that's merging the mutants from Marvel with the horror genre.
So they're not heroes.
They're not
like
heroes.
Villains?
They're like, they don't know what they are from what the trailer is, but it's a lot of horror in it.
I look forward to seeing that trailer.
Yeah. Okay. So No Time to Die, April 10th. Okay. That is the James Bond film.
Okay. Right? And speaking of James Bond, what did the
producers of James Bond said that James Bond will remain a male. I guess they got backlash, and maybe we will see
Idris Elba.
Maybe as the one they wanted to have a black woman.
Will Smith. Idris Elba or Will Smith?
I would say just like how we argue about having people who actually know the struggle acting our roles, maybe I think that should stay British.
Or Will Smith with the British accent.
Black Brits. But anyway, listen, people. April 24th, I am looking forward to this film. Antebellum.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be good.
You know who that's?
Janelle Monáe.
Janelle Monáe in some kind of the worlds cross and meet in some kind of vortex cross thing.
I
And she
believe-
winds up back in antebellum time, antebellum slavery.
I believe isn't Gabby Sidibe in it also, right?
Oh, I didn't see
In the
her.
previews, I believe she's in it.
I
too.
thought that Lizzo was in it.
No, I think I can look it
Okay.
up, but I believe it's
It's Gabby Sidibe, huh?
Yes.
Okay. May 1st, Black Widow comes
That's gonna
out.
be
This
good.
is this.
Scarlett Johansson,
This seems to
right?
be the first offer from the Marvel's cinema.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in a while. You know, they're starting with Black Widow, right?
Yeah.
May 14th, The Woman in the Window. This is kind of like a Hitchcockian thing, except for instead of being with a broken leg, like the protagonist in Rear Window,
Right.
this woman has a disease of the mind that causes her to not be able to go outside, right?
Right.
And so the people find that out, and then they start to terrorize her for what she's seen in the rear window in one called The Woman in the Window. And we're looking forward to that one.
It's Gabby Sidibe.
Gabby Sidibe. May 20th. No, that's not who's in that movie.
No, in Antebellum.
Okay.
Along with Janelle Monáe.
May 20th, Fast and Furious 9.
It's good. So we know who's in that, right?
Right.
Vin Diesel, Tyrese, Ludacris.
Right,
Who
yeah.
else?
Yeah,
The rest of them.
regulars.
The
Right?
regulars.
June 5th, 2020,
Okay.
Wonder Woman 1984. I don't know how the Wonder Woman character explained not getting any older to the people around
She's,
her.
you know, one of the Amazon women, right? They don't age.
And I never understood how Wonder Woman on TV came into the 80s because they were back in the 30s when the first season, then they came into the 80s and her love interest was with her. And I never understood that. It was never explained, but people just went with it. And maybe it'll be explained in this one. June 12th, I'm looking forward to this. The Candyman reboot.
Oh, that's going to be good.
Right?
Whose isn't
That's Jordan Peele.
also that? Yeah,
That's right. July 3rd, Free Guy.
Okay. Oh, that's gonna be good. Is that Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds. You know, he is portraying a different character
Oh yeah.
than he usually portrays, right? So this is going to be
Because
interesting.
we know him from
Deadpool.
yeah.
That's right. July 10th.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to this one too. This is how you put a film together from the trailer. Ghostbusters is coming.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like the next generation.
Yeah.
It's like they're like the original Ghostbusters from the 80s would be grandpas right now.
Right.
And the new kids discover something because it's kind of like Tremors.
Yeah.
And that from the trailer, right?
Yeah.
So July 17th, we're looking forward to this one too. Tenet. That's starring Mr. Washington.
Oh, Denzel.
Denzel's son.
Oh, his son.
His son,
Okay.
that's right.
Okay.
He's going to be in this. This is an action thriller, a kind of action thriller, covert type thing going on. He's some kind of agent. And, you know, that's going to be good. July 24th, Jungle Cruise. Now, that's The Rock's offering for the summertime, right?
Right.
And July 31st, Jared Leto is starring in Morbius. This is Marvel's, I believe, to be answer to Batman,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Morbius, a man who is dying of some kind of terminal illness,
Yeah.
but discovers that if he is, by the trailer, if he gets vaccinated, I'll say, by bats,
Wow.
or infected by bats, that he will be able to turn around and be strong. But within turning around and being strong, he also turns to what bats are. So it's kind of like the answer to Batman, but it's also kind of like a vampire movie, a Marvel vampire superhero answer to Batman movie.
Now the film Tenet is
Yeah.
starring John David Washington.
That's it.
Yeah, him and
That's
Robert Pattinson. Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yep.
So people, as we move right along, we need to talk about Eminem's new offering before we move on to the next piece, because people are talking about this, and I need to talk about the Eminem piece, right?
Okay.
So I sat there and I listened to the new Eminem, and we have to be honest, right?
Okay.
Godzilla with Juice WRLD, that's a classic.
Okay.
You know, cool. Stepdad, that's an X. No Regret, that's a check.
Okay.
Farewell, that's an X.
Right.
And I'm going to tell you why as we get down in the list. Marsh has the same flow as Godzilla. He seems to have the same cadence, and we're going to get to that. Same sing-songy melody.
Okay.
I give that a minus because that's in between. You could take it or leave it depending on if you're an Eminem fan or not. You're gone learn, right? Okay. Eminem, Royce the 5'9", and White Gold on the hook, right? That's a minus. That's a minus because, of course, he has people with him on that, and depending on if you like them or not, I could take it or leave it. Okay. Never Love Again, produced by Dr. Dre, right? And a crew of his producers, right?
Okay.
It's a story narrative. I give it a minus because, I don't give it an X. I give it a minus because Dre is on it, and maybe people just like it because Dre is on it. Okay. Little Engine, another Dr. Dre produced track with crew. I give that an X. Those Kind of Nights. Okay. Right? That's an X.
Right.
This one right here I could see is a single. Look It Up, featuring Dr. Dre, right? On production, right?
Okay.
And Anderson Pike, I guess that's his name, or Park.
Peak, yeah.
Peak, whatever. I give him a check. I Will, that's a minus.
Okay.
Darkness. Why is it darkness and not whiteness? I just have a question. Like when people say it's such a dark thing, why is it a dark thing? Why is it not just a bad thing? Okay. It's a good beat, but it's the same sing-songy melody, right? Okay. In Too Deep, I give that a check. Okay. That's pretty good. Leaving Heaven, I give that a minus, right? Look, okay. Now, I'm going to say this, and I want this to be clear. I'm looking right at you when I say this, right? Okay. If you are black and you are an MC2 and you like Eminem's new joint for its same sing-songy hooks, and if he's not two-stepping on his flows, he's rapping fast with the same cadence on every song, but now he's rapping the same cadence on every song. His cadence when he's rapping fast, he's not on the beat or under the beat. He kicks a little above the downbeat to start off. And so go back and listen to that. When he's doing his stutter stepping and fast rapping, right? Mm-hmm. He starts a little above the downbeat while he's delivering the flow. And so every song is that same cadence. And my thing is, when we're rating black MCs, mm-hmm. we rate them differently. They have to come up with different cadences. Okay. They have to come up with different song type hooks. Okay. He does the same melody of sing-songy type hooks on every song that he's singing on. On the hook, he's doing the same thing. He's rapping. If he's not doing that, style, he's going and he sounds the same in every cadence, right? You're giving him kudos, but you down black MCs, but give him a pass. all this, we're laying all this out, and if you do that and then you give him a pass, but there's certain things that MCs are supposed to do in hip hop, you are a self-hater. You are a self-hater, and that's what we will say about that. Go back there and listen to his songs, listen to the critique that I said, go back and listen to the songs and see if you don't come up with that the album is not good. I give it a 2.
A 2. Okay. So a pop culture fact. Right?
Pop culture fact.
Okay. So when we did the artists of the decade, right? And number 4 was the Carters. Shit, right?
Right.
The reason why they were number 4, because you remember you said you were surprised that they were. The reason why they are number 4 is because the Carters, that's their number, right? Okay. So, Beyonce, she entitled a song for her 4th album, right? Their daughter, Blue Ivy, Roman numeral 4, right? Beyonce's birthday is September 4th. Jay-Z's birthday is December 4th, right? Mm-hmm. Their anniversary is in April, the 4th month. Mm-hmm. So they've talked about how 4 is their number.
4 is
so their number. I thought it would be cute. It will fall in line, right?
Right.
To give them number 4, because 4 is their number.
Number 4.
That's it.
All right.
But other than that, the Carters are always number 1.
Always number 1.
But we gave them 4 because 4 is their number.
All right, people.
Okay.
So we went to the movie theater, right?
Okay.
And we saw something that was so enjoyable.
Oh, yeah.
So entertaining. It was so enjoyable and so entertaining, and people so did agree with what we're getting ready to say about this film, right? They so did agree about it that they gave it the same as we're giving it right now, right? So they did. It was so entertaining that it made $68.1 million at the box office. Now, Dr. Dolittle opened.
Okay.
Right? It only made $30 million. But it cost $175 to $200 million to make, right? First of all, Eddie Murphy put his stamp on Dr. Dolittle with 3 movies. So why is it being made when Eddie Murphy's movies are still modern time? That's one thing.
Right.
Second, nothing, not even 1917, the war movie, was going to take out Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys for Life, okay? Mm-hmm. Maybe now we start to see, and maybe he sees, Downey sees that his star isn't as bright as he thought it was, and he might find out or find a way back to Tony Stark and Marvel.
Well, it's number 3. Yeah.
It's number 3.
Yeah, because the number 1 film is Bad Boys. Yep.
Right.
And then 2, 1917.
1917, and then he comes in
3rd. Yeah.
Low.
Dr. Dolittle.
Low. So that means anything else that came after that was really like.
I guess that was surprising for them because normally children's films usually shoot to number 1.
But that's a flop.
They probably thought it would.
That's a flop. 1. It's not going to come back because it costs more to make than what it made.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not. Maybe it'll come back off of being put on cable and on demand and stuff, and then make their money back. But that's not something that will be a 2 and a 3 and a franchise. No. And he's not franchise.
Yeah.
Unless he's with an ensemble cast.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Now to Bad Boys for Life. Okay. Starring Will Smith as Detective Mike Lowry. Yes. Martin Lawrence as Detective Marcus Barnett. Mm-hmm. Joe Pantoliano, Pantoliano as Captain Howard.
Okay.
Those long Italian names, I tell you. Paula Nunez as Rita. Okay. Now I have an observation about Paula Nunez as Rita that we'll get to a little bit later. That may not be favorable, but I won't go there. But anyway.
Yeah, Teresa Randall also.
Okay, go ahead.
Teresa Randall.
I named the main people, but go ahead.
Okay, Vanessa Hudgens,
Mm-hmm.
Alexander Ludwig,
Mm-hmm.
Charles Melton, and also DJ Khaled was in it.
Oh, DJ Khaled, how could I forget him? He played an interesting role in it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, the script has 4 writers, right? It's much like when we interviewed Wayne Powers, and he described how scripts change writers to script doctors, right? So Chris Bremner, Peter Craig, Joe Carnahan, and Pete Craig are the story writers. The first 3 wrote the screenplay. The next person wrote the story, and then George Gallo wrote the character. So they, all in all, they had 4 writers, right?
Oh, okay.
4 writers to write this script. Because what happens is that sometimes scripts are brought and then people look at them and say, oh no, that's not good enough. Then they go back, then it changes writers. That writer keeps some of the base of the original script, and then it goes on, then it goes to a script doctor, and the script doctor tightens it all up, and then so they like the screenplay finally, and then the next person, the Peter guy, wrote the story, the through line. We talk about the through line a lot. And then the person developed the characters, beefed up the characters, which was the George Gallo guy. When we talk about script on the film review, story through line and character arc, it took 4 people to bring a script Will Smith would like, to make sure that Bad Boys for Life would be what it is. So when we here on the film review talk about what makes script writing great, and we talk about it and we break it down, this is a film that is a perfect example that it took 4 screenwriters to do this, 4 script writers, and then they brought something that is thoroughly and totally entertaining to the masses, that is wiping out the box office. So the premise of the story, life's moved on for the 2. They're not the young 25-year-olds anymore. They are the 50-somethings, one ready to retire, the other ready to retire, the other like Run from Run DMC, wanting to still prove he still got it, right? There's a foot race, a new baby, a celebration, another foot race, and the movie kicks off from there. The initiating event and the dramatic need is established early, right? The passage of time, the way that they tell the story about the passage of time without going through flashbacks and all that, but showing them now and using dialogue, 10. The cinematography, film grammar, 10. The story, script structure, 10. The use of lighting, 10. The gunplay, action, fight sequences, 10. The acting, each one, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence gave to each other. They weren't trying to outshine each other, and the intimate moments are believable. And the use of comedy to break up the tension without losing the story. Much like what Will Smith said, Martin Lawrence is able to do that as a character actor, as an actor. And he delivers, right? The wardrobe is a 10. The new tactical toys, the body cams and the drones, that's a 10. Right? So what do you want to say about
and the music?
And the soundtrack. Right?
Excellent.
The soundtrack on Bad Boys for Life.
It's just fire.
You know, it's so good that I had to take the design and make our design. You know what I mean? For the new piece, I had to take that design and put us in there somehow. You know what I mean? Right. So, what else you want to say about?
I definitely would give it a 10. Because, like you said, like the acting, the action, the music, I mean, the storyline, and not to give anything away, well written. Actually, this is my favorite Bad Boys.
Yeah, it's real nice.
And a few other people have said the same thing, that they feel like this is their favorite Bad Boy. So everybody's looking forward to a part 4. So this is the #1 film. So fingers crossed. Hopefully we will get a part 4.
Shanine said, I doubt Dr. Doolittle was really popular amongst these new kids. let me read that, how that sounds.
These new kids.
I doubt Dr. Doolittle was really popular amongst these new kids. She gave claps. Brown hand claps, the Bad Boys.
The new kids, they want to see Frozen too.
Yeah, that's what they want to see. They don't want to see Mark. If they want to see Dr. Doolittle, they want to see somebody younger. They probably might want to see a young lady in it, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they do a spinoff with old girl from the Two of Us? She did one, right?
Yeah, she sure
she
did.
was the daughter
of Eddie Murphy.
Right,
yeah.
right. And she did one. Come on now, they're probably Doolittled out in their soul, in their spirit, right? Okay, here, good people. So my rating on Bad Boys for Life is a 10.
Yes.
You have to go see this film.
Action from beginning to end.
Did
we mention the vehicles?
The vehicles, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, just totally done. Just totally well done, people.
Yeah.
Now, people, we have another one that we're reviewing. I have a smile on my face because we're going to break. I'm going to give the rating on the film first,
Okay.
and then we're going to break down why we gave that rating, right?
The film review.
Right. We are here. Anyway, people, so look. A Fall from Grace. Tyler Perry's A Fall from Grace on Netflix. It's an original Netflix film, A Fall from Grace by Tyler Perry, right?
Yeah.
People, I want to say this because I've been seeing some of the reviews on it, and mostly it comes from like film sites where people are hoping to produce film one day themselves, and I have to come to the conclusion that people are envious and jealous of Tyler Perry. That's what I have to say. First of all,
the cast.
No, I'm going to rate it, and then we're going to go through the cast right after that, right? So I'm going to rate this film, and then we're going to go in and tell why, right?
Right.
So, like I said, people are envious and jealous of Tyler, right? The cinematography, that's the first thing that I noticed on the film, and that's what I was raving at. I was raving at it so much that my wife said, could you just rewind it and just be
Let
quiet?
the film play and be quiet. Sometimes in the theater, I have to say that. I have to say, be quiet.
Because I said, did you see how they're acting? I mean, that's incredible. Look at that emoting. And you see it. But anyway, cinematography in this film is a 10.
Yeah.
It is a 10. There is no
well done
break in it. There are no flaws in the cinematography,
at
the
all.
movement of the camera.
Right.
Use of cuts. J cuts in particular, people. If you don't know what J cuts are, maybe you didn't know what you were looking at in the film, and that's why you were probably trying to down this film. That was a 10.
Right.
Character arc.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah.
Story is so very important in a situation, and you know, Tyler Perry said that when he first started out, when he was doing his plays. You know, they were intermission, so he never got to see Act 3, so he only wrote Act 1 and 2. Well, he has a full story here, 3 acts.
You know what? I actually saw 2 characters' arc in this film. Normally in films, there's like one, that main star. But in this one, I saw 2 characters'
2
arc.
characters are 10.
Yeah.
The acting, 10.
On point.
The twist in it, twist that you do not expect,
and we will not give it away.
And you say, "Oh my God!"
Yeah,
really
well written.
Well written. That is a 10.
Yeah.
This is a man who does not have a writing room, and he is spitting out scripts that have #1 shows on television and have films like this, and he's only getting stronger.
Tyler Perry is a beast. So he would definitely be like one of the best.
He's an auteur.
Auteur of the decade.
I give him a 10 on this. What would you give him?
A 10.
Right. Okay. So now let's go through the cast.
Okay.
Crystal Fox is Grace.
Yes.
You know Crystal Fox from the Have Nots, right? She usually plays the church-going woman that once the little boy went upstairs. I'm not gonna tell you what happened. You got to go back and watch the previous episodes. But then she's not so church anymore. She's more in the thick of it, right? Then Felicia Rashad delivers a performance.
She does.
In this, she plays Sarah, right?
She's no Claire Huxtable.
She
does an excellent job. She kills this character. Excellent acting.
Brisha Webb.
Yeah.
She plays Jasmine.
She does.
Right?
Yeah.
She's really good in this.
She is.
She was on Who's That Girl, right?
Yeah.
Originally.
Yeah.
She was the ghetto receptionist.
Right.
The ghetto
and most recently she was in Marlon Wayans, was it the Quadruplets? Sextuplets on Netflix.
Right.
And she played his wife.
Yes.
She did an excellent job acting in that film as well. But in this film, she really takes it there. She's one of the characters that I spoke about that arcs, because there's two characters in the film that arc. Mm-hmm. And she's one. And she does a really great job carrying this film. Like
Matthew Law. Jordan Bryant.
Right.
He plays Jordan Bryant.
Did you mention Cicely Tyson?
No, Cicely Tyson comes. She's last. I go by order of how he made importance, right?
Okay.
Chad Brooks. Yeah. He plays Shannon.
Yeah.
Tyler Perry plays Rory, right?
Yeah.
And Cicely Tyson plays Alice. As usual, Cicely Tyson is in a pivotal part of the storyline that moves the storyline on, like when she was in the one movie where she talks to the youth.
Yeah.
This is the same type of thing, but in a totally different framework, okay? So Brisha Webb, Jasmine, works in the public defender's office of a city in a city in Virginia.
Right.
She's been tasked with securing a plea deal for Grace, played by Crystal Webb's character, right?
Crystal Fox.
Crystal Fox, excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm putting this wrong name.
Crystal.
Right. Crystal Fox's character, Grace, right? She begins to dig into inconsistencies, and the story begins from there.
Yeah.
Right? And the story takes off from there. It is interesting watching, right? From beginning to end. It opens up first of all, the cinematography on it draws you into the film, right? The film grammar draws you into the film, and it's seamless. And I say people need to go back. I don't know if they've been to film school or not. But anyway, Tyler's dope movement of becoming. When I say dope, I mean it released dopamine. So I don't use drugs, but I was totally enthralled. I said, look at that. Yeah. Look at that. His dope movement of the camera and the use of image size, film grammar, is on full display in this Netflix original movie, right? The J-cuts, we talked about that before, but the J-cuts are executed extremely well. I need you to look up what J-cuts are in film. We here are a place that educates as well as reviews. So when we're saying something, you can jot down the note and go research. You say, oh, that's what they're talking about when they say J-cuts. And then when you go watch the films, you'll start to see and you say, that's what makes a great film. Right? I have to address this again. The movement to static shots. See, I talked about the movement, but the movement to static shots has to be referenced one more time. The movement, the shots, the movement to static shots has to be referenced one more time. That it is just great in this film. The story, right? So my thought on it is, the jealous and the envious haters complain, but this film is in 3X.
Yeah.
He's on Netflix.
Yep.
He's on OWN.
Yep.
He's on BET.
Right.
He's putting movies in theaters.
Right. So
He's
covered the
got,
game.
and we had told you before when we reviewed the last Medea movie
Oh, it's
that
hilarious.
this was like on
Yeah.
a whole
Medea's
new level,
funeral. Yeah.
and that it was just incredible.
Yeah.
And so the people who, I have to say this and be clear on this because we're in 2020 and we're coming into the roaring 20s. If you are a hater, you are not going to make it. I'm just going to tell you, if you're doing something and you don't do it just not just for, but if you don't do it for the love of it, and you can't see the love of it in someone else's work to the point that you will down it, and you're downing people who are successful. If you are downing people who are successful, who have a proven track record, and all you can do is complain, I can tell you that Tyler Perry didn't have no time to complain about people. He was out there doing it. If you're gonna do that, you are a hater, and you're never going to make it. Okay? Because people have too much time on their hands then to just talk about people, complain about this, nitpick, and really the style of the film and the film grammar on it lets me know that when you're complaining about it, you really don't know what you're talking about because you don't know film grammar, which means that most likely you didn't go to film school. And Tyler Perry didn't go to film school neither, but you know what he did? He wrapped himself around people who did know, picked up, and now his technique of delivering a film and the editing on the film at he's at helm of it, looking at it, the auteur of it, how the person is going to dress, how the music goes in, how this is going to cut, how this is going to look, how the camera's going to move. He's an auteur.
Some people can't master. Not only can he master film, but he also can master the stage. Plays, right? So he started off doing plays. I'm trying to think. I don't know if any other director
that Talbert dude, but he's not on
stage and like film. Well,
Talbert. He's cool, but Tyler Perry is like on a whole nother level where he owns his own studio.
So, but like as far as Tyler Perry's body of work, he rules stage as well as film. So as well as miniseries
and TV shows.
And
he writes it every week,
so
and they go to number one shows.
He puts in the work, and he also provides work for the community.
Shanine said, Tyler gives blacks something to be proud of and still gets disrespected. Sad. Yeah, they're disrespecting, but they're just haters, and you just have to.
What do I call them? Internet bullies.
The internet bullies, but
some people who are miserable and their job is to do nothing but sit down in front of the computer and just say nothing but negative stuff about
But in real life, they're haters. They're haters. They're not going to be successful. Listen, if you've been doing something for years and you see people, if you're a hip hop artist and you've been trying to make it for years, maybe the reason why you're not making it is because you're a hater, because Redman is back and he comes from way back and he's back with a bona fide hit, and in between he was making films and doing other moves. And if you're still working a 9 to 5 or a 10 to 10, which there's nothing wrong with it would work every day, but if what you wanted to do was be a hip hopper, then maybe the decisions that you made were wrong. Right? And they were wrong decisions. You have to think about your decisions. Shanine also said, you guys make me research all the time. Thank you, Shanine. That's what we want to do. We want to make people more aware of what's actually going on in film, right? And then Shani says, stage, TV, movies, talented about Tyler Perry. This is true. Look, A Fall from Grace is an excellent movie.
Yeah, well done.
It's a twist.
It's not predictable. See, that's what I love about this film. It's not predictable. when you watch a film, oh, this is going to happen. Oh, well, you kind of can just like, okay, so she punched him, so he's going to get back at her by maybe abusing her or blah, blah, blah. I mean, some stuff is just predictable, right?
Right.
But this film,
not predictable.
It's not predictable at all. So,
not at all.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, can you believe that we are almost 2 hours in?
Oh, okay.
We only got 25 minutes left, and we have gotten through everything that we wanted to talk to you about today, people. How about that?
Oh, one thing that I definitely want to talk about is I mentioned this to you.
Okay.
So when we saw saw them go live with the Oscar nominations,
Mm-hmm.
I was just proud to say that most of the films that are nominated,
Mm-hmm.
we've reviewed most of them.
We reviewed.
And the films that we gave like high marks are in those categories. So,
Are in those categories.
Yeah, so we have certain films that we are definitely rooting for, and those are the films that we scored highly. So you watch the film review and match up the films that are being nominated against the films that we reviewed.
That's
So,
right. So people,
we should do a what do they do in football? Was it fantasy football?
yeah, fantasy
I
football.
think we should do a fantasy. Let's see who we think the best actress, the best actor,
Okay, yeah,
the best
we might
editor,
get
the
that
best.
together
And
for
let's maybe
next week,
close
maybe.
to
Close to we
before
gotta
the
find out when
Oscars.
Oscars come out. Could be
Yeah.
next week. We don't know.
No, Oscars I believe is in February.
Okay, February.
So yeah,
That's right,
we can
sure.
give our list of who
We'll
we
give our
think
list
is
who's
going to
gonna
win
it.
in the multiple categories.
Yeah, that works. Okay, people. So listen, I mean, we can see how well we did and come back and tell you. So people, look.
And send your list also.
That's right. Send your list. So look, this has been
Yes.
another great
Yes.
episode of the film review.
Right.
Movies, music, culture,
Yes.
politics, and society.
Yes.
We are the husband and wife team. I'm Crazy D.
Tracey,
I am the filmmaker. She is the,
critic.
and we review movies, music, culture, politics, and
Right.
society. And we would like to say thank you for tuning in on this episode. This is the 96th episode
Right.
of the film review. We're headed to 100 episodes. Can you believe it? Can you believe it, people? A show that started July 1st
Wow.
of that year, so many years ago now.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2 years.
Gosh,
Come
time
this
is
July,
flying.
right? And wow. Wow, people. So
All stemmed from just the love of film.
it started with talking about Jay-Z
Yeah.
and Beyonce and
Right.
LeBron James
Right.
and who's still in the news today.
Right.
Jay-Z, Beyonce,
Right.
LeBron James. Who did we just talk about today?
Yeah.
Jay-Z and Beyonce on the
Right.
list, number 4 on the list,
Right.
people. So, like we say, people. Shanine said she's going to listen to Red Man now. Yes, listen to him.
Yeah.
Hilarious. You're gonna laugh.
Yeah.
You're gonna laugh. So again, this
Yeah.
has been the film review: movies, music, culture, politics, and society. And we will see you next time,
Yes.
next week, on the 97th episode of the film review.
Yes.
The Film Review, movies, music, culture, politics, society podcast, interviews, movie reviews, and more. Live Sundays at 5:30 p.m. on Facebook at Crazon Dion.
Hey everybody, this is Lunell, the original bad girl of comedy. I'm here at the Link Promenade in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, and you're watching the Film Review.